Guy who gave a halftime speech. Why? A guy who has obviously been dominant for so long in the secondary. He was a star at LSU. He's a star with the Vikings. When he was with the Cardinals, he was maybe the most dangerous punt returner in the game, as well as being a lockdown corner. Ladies and gentlemen, Patrick Peterson.
I am back on the show. What up, fellas?
Hey, what's up? Let's talk about something. Obviously, we're thankful you're spending time out of your day to come on the show. We appreciate it. You're an incredible athlete. We appreciate it. You've done a lot for the NFL. We appreciate it. Why don't you just keep your fucking mouth shut at halftime? What is the deal? You gave a motivational speech? Is that real? And did you feel like you were the person that had to say it? And follow up, why? Why couldn't you just take the L to the Colts, let us have a good day, let Victor the Viking shit all over himself? What's the deal, dude?
Man, it was, I don't know, it was just something that I felt that needed to be said. Coach, gave his spiel. They was going over their adjustments. We went over our defense adjustments, and at the end of the day, that's something that we needed. We needed 5 touchdowns if we wanted to win this game or get back into the ball game. And I seen our offense, put up big numbers in a half before, and I said, that's nothing. So let's go put together a great second half of football and see what happens.
Well, how'd you say it? Like loud? Was it yelling? Was it like a motivational speech? All we need. Like what was it? What was the tone?
It was just smooth. I'm not a real big yeller. So I was like, yo, offense, defensively, we're going to go out here and get stops. All you guys need is 5 touchdowns. That's nothing. And that was it. And, I said a couple other things after that. And Josh Metellus kind of broke the huddle down and, pretty much leading the guys, telling the guys don't look up, take it a play at a time, and let's see where it takes us. So it was nice and calm.
Yeah, well, wish you just would have said nothing. Go ahead, AJ.
Could you feel like the momentum shift in the second half and see, like, I would imagine the Colts players started to, like, not worry, but almost be like, man, there's no way we're losing this thing, are we? Like, did you ever feel that kind of change?
Honestly, AJ, the change came around 4 minutes in the third quarter, because if you look at it, we didn't get our first touchdown until about 5 minutes left in the third.
3 and out? Colts got 3 and out to the offense, and you gave a speech too.
So it was we didn't get any momentum until like that late in the third quarter, and once we got around like 21-36, I was like, oh boy. I started walking up and down the sideline. I said, do you guys feel it? Is it starting to turn?
Oh, so you gave 2 speeches. Okay.
I'm a big talker, man, Pat.
Sam.
So for the most part, I gotta get if something's on my mind, my teammates gonna know about it.
Well, congrats on winning the NFC North. Yeah. Congrats on clinching. Congrats on the largest comeback in NFL history. I was calling the Vegas Bowl at the time. I didn't get to watch it live, but I was getting updates. 33-0. I felt real good. I was living high in Vegas. I was in a suite. I was in a booth. I was with Herb Street here. Dave Pash was here. Rutledge was down on the field. The game was good. I'm calling a game. I'm learning things. 33-zip. We are back. Jeff Saturday might be the next Lombardi. Then as we're calling this game, it's starting to become a fucking blowout. I start getting texts and, hey, it's 33-27. What? It's 30. What? How'd this happen? Did you guys make any actual adjustments at halftime to shut down the offense, or did it feel like the Colts were just kind of going into a show? Because it was like 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out. I think they turnover on downs on the 4th and 1. What was it, you think?
Pat, if you go back and look at the game, the offensively, they didn't do nothing the whole game. If you look at the stats, I think they only didn't have over 200-yard passing, didn't have over 100-yard rushing. So the stats there, I think they only scored 1 touchdown with 4 field goals. So they really didn't do anything on the offensive side of the ball to beat us. So, no, we didn't change anything. We just played a little bit more aggressive, sent a little bit more pressure, because obviously we knew we couldn't give up any more points or any first downs. And just at the end of the day, just see where it was going to take us.
Okay, well, let's move on. Congratulations, I'm happy for you. I've been a Vikings fan this year. I think everybody has heard it in here. But, boy, that was quite a spin in my life quickly. Just like this game has become a blowout that I'm calling, and somehow the Colts are blowing a massive lead at the same time. What a scene. It's record-breaking. Now, people are talking about your team saying the fact that the Colts were up 33-zip in the first half and you're able to come back, that's against the Colts. Whenever you get in the playoffs, you're not going to be able to do that against a good team. Do you guys hear all the chatter outside? What are your thoughts about the team going into the playoffs? Because obviously you clinched. How does the team feel about your chances of making a real run? And why are people talking shit about you guys, you think?
Man, I don't know. I think, so much of the media hate Kirk Cousins. I don't know why, but I think so many people just dislike the things I don't know if is it the way he carry himself or him having having the persona of the cloud over his head or him not winning the big games. But, Kirk is our guy and we're riding with him. And for the most part, we got to go out there and continue proving ourselves right, because, the outsider is going to always say, or they can't do it, or we don't believe in this person, we don't believe in that guy. But as long as we continue to believe in ourselves, because the proof is in the pudding. We've came back multiple times, twice in the Detroit game first time, Buffalo on the road, Washington on the road, and now being a part of history, 33 down in the first half and coming back to win that game in overtime, we can win ball games. Now it's just on us to continue to believe in ourselves that we can do it.
Your punter's unbelievable, too. I mean, that guy.
Yeah, Ryan. Whew.
What's his deal? He kicks the ball so far all the time.
Yeah, he's a stud, man.
He's so good. You guys have been through a lot of punters over there. Like, actually, I don't want to put too much emphasis on the punting game because obviously your defense is unbelievable. Offense has so many weapons. But, like, you guys have been through a lot of punters. Seems like you got a guy. It seems like you guys got a guy over there. Yeah, that's big. Playoffs come.
Yeah, and he's young. So may have him for a while.
Oh, you think he's going to get better, huh? Think he's going to get better?
No doubt about it. I might need to hook him up with my boy Pat, man. So you can give him a couple lessons.
No, that kid, he needs to hear nothing from me. He's fucking bombing ball. He's much better than me. You just do whatever you're doing, pal. AQ has a question for you, Pat.
Pat, what's up, brother? We were teammates in Arizona for a bunch of years, right?
Oh, what up, Ship?
What's going on, brother? So you remember in December, every other team we would face in Arizona, Green Bay, Minnesota, it would be filled with their fans, right? You're in Minnesota now. What an atmosphere. Talk a little bit about that, huh? Is it unbelievable in December?
Man, it's unbelievable all year. I'll never forget the first time I got here. My alarm clock literally was the Skull chant. That's how exciting I was to be a part of this atmosphere and this fan base, because when you have a fan base that we have here, it makes you play that much more better on the defensive side of the ball.
It's unbelievable.
Skull. Doom, doom. Skull. There it is.
Shut up. 9 minutes later.
Easy.
Skull. How loud was that place in the second half? It was absurd.
Oh man, I thought we had like a little mini earthquake. Man, it was like I saw my vision kind of shaking. It was pretty gnarly.
Hey, Kevin O'Connell seems like a sweet dude. Seems like he talks shit. Seems like he's not scared to swear a little bit, which we appreciate around here, because it feels like when you don't swear, I just assume you're filtering yourself. And if you're filtering yourself, are you ever really your authentic self? I don't know. You tell me. Everybody has different things.
No, you definitely have to swear.
Yes.
You have to swear.
I think so. Like, there's people that don't for good reason. I respect you. I appreciate that decision. Follow up. Yep. You're withholding something. What else are you withholding? I would like to know you. That's a conversation for another day. Kevin O'Connell, former player, though. What is your take on him as the head coach this far into the season? You guys have clinched the North already. You're in the playoffs. What are your thoughts on Kevin O'Connell, his first year as a head coach for you guys?
Man, Coach has been great for us, man. The thing I love the most about Coach is that he allowed guys to be them. He didn't come in here trying to create robots. Didn't want guys to lose their identity. He just added, his a couple monkey wrenches in there as far as helping us be a much more disciplined, smart football team and physical, and just believing in the scheme and believing in one another. Just the belief that he's able to give us each and every Sunday is remarkable, and you don't see that from a lot of young coaches stepping into a head coaching job their first year.
Good moxie. I like him.
Oh yeah,
Pat,
no doubt about it.
You ever show him your collection of muscle cars? I know you have an unbelievable situation. I don't know if it's out in Arizona or where it is right now. Getting some pictures. What's the story behind that?
Yeah, Coach. We was on the way back from London. I showed Coach my collection of watches, my collection of cars.
Damn.
And Coach was like, "Man, I just want to live in a day in the life of Pat P one day.
Me too. That'd be great. Have you ever been to the? Is that out in Phoenix?
Yeah, that's in Scottsdale.
Have you ever been to that luxury auto collection out there?
No. I typically I build all my cars, so I don't buy any of these cars.
What?
Yeah, I put my own touch onto it.
Have you always been into that? Did you go to like?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've always been into it. I think it started probably when I was around 6 when I saw my dad, best friend, building his 69 Nova from the ground up. I was like, man, whenever I have an opportunity with some real cash and, put some love and affection to these cars, I want to be able to do that as well.
How many ponies are in that back one that's hoisted up? Looks like it's a race. Looks like you got a little dragster
That's my
here.
Camaro. That's my Camaro. That's I nicknamed that one Bodacious because that's just a tire burner. But it got about, I think that one has 850.
You dragging that? Are we drag racing that or no?
Now that's actually one of those circuit track cars. So it's like more a car that go around in those short circles around the tracks.
Do you drive those? Do you race?
Every once in a while, I'm not really like heavily, having the helmet on and all that stuff. So I'm trying to finish my career here on the gridiron. So maybe after I'm done, I get a little bit more serious.
What's the day to day up there in Minnesota?
Man, right now the snow is falling. I think it's actually -1 degree. And,
How do they measure that? How do they measure that, Pat?
How do they measure what?
An absence of a degree.
I have no idea.
Me neither. We were there
so-
-12. I'm like, what the fuck does that even? How do you know?
Right.
How do you know
it's cold as shit.
That's exactly right. Ty has a question for you, Pat.
Yeah, speaking of the cold, Pat, being in Arizona and then obviously at LSU, you've been in Minnesota for a few years now. Do you ever actually, I know you guys play inside, but obviously multiple games in the division outside. Do you ever get acclimated to it being that cold, or is that something that you kind of just never get used to?
Aaron, for the most part, I think it's all mental. So for me, I know I'm going to be warm on the sideline. I'm going to be on the field for tops 5 minutes. So if I can be able to sustain 5 minutes of however cold it is, I'm back on the bench for another 5 minutes. So honestly, it's just all about it's all mental for the most part. So if you're able to sustain and defeat the cold mentally, you'll be all right.
Okay, Connor.
Right, AJ?
Well,
Absolutely. Yeah. Take care of your hands and take care of your toes and take care of your hands. That's all I cared about.
You wear long sleeves?
No doubt about it.
You wear long sleeves, or do you wear like tiger? What was it? Tiger
Tiger
balm?
balm.
Tiger balm.
Yeah, I like the Tiger Balm, the warm skin. The warm skin with some Vaseline.
Yeah, but when ball is in there, is that not a thing, or you just glove it, palm it the whole time?
Yeah, for the most part, I don't get that much action, especially now late in the year. So hopefully I get a tip interception or something like that. But for the most part, they're not getting the ball back from me once I get it. So it's not leaving my possession.
You can put oil on it.
I'm trying to tell you.
Connor, your question.
Yeah, Pat, obviously kind of a wild weekend with the referees, but we were saying yesterday how it has overall been a pretty good experience. One play in particular was you guys getting that clear fumble, clear return, touchdown that got called back. Is there a conversation just behind closed doors between you and the refs maybe that's kind of like a, hey, sorry, we screwed that one up, or any sort of accountability? And is there a conversation after that play immediately?
And do not get yourself fined. A lot of
Yeah.
people in the
Yeah.
NFL office
Hey,
watch this
hey.
show. Watch the show.
Oh, you're Pat, I'm a vet.
Yeah, you're
not
right. I'm
doing
sorry. I'm so
that.
sorry. I'm so sorry. But when you see a
But anyway-
situation like that, how do you handle it? How do you handle like an
Man.
egregious fuck up, obviously, but you got to move on? You didn't say that I did. Find me if you can't.
Right.
So, well, you can, I
Man,
guess.
it-
Paffle would be back. Nonetheless.
Man, it was tough being in that situation. The first one, okay, I can kind of see that
Yeah.
one. But the second one, I was like, come on, I thought the instant replay is in place for things like this. If it comes close, don't blow the ball dead.
Let's fix it later.
If you have an opportunity to go back and look at an instant replay, then you go back and look at the replay to see if you got it right. I just felt like there was a little bit too whistle happy Sunday, which caused us not to receive any of those touchdowns.
Time Diggs.
Pat, I don't. I think it happened to you a couple weeks ago potentially too. It doesn't matter when, who, where. Corners and secondary, they're getting wild with laterals. It doesn't matter this game situation. What's going on right now where you guys are just like, fuck it, we're gonna lateral it every time we get intercepted?
That honestly, that's not something that we always talk about. I think that has to be something that comes with veteran players. Coaches don't allow the young guys to have just that freelance to just throw the ball all over the goddamn place. So you got to have some type of skin in the game. So only me and Harry is allowed to toss the ball back. So I don't know how other teams do it, but on this team, only us two are allowed to toss the ball back.
Have to talk about this, and things are good, so I apologize for having to bring up drama. Have to.
Whoops.
Don't want to.
Sorry about it.
Did you hear there's a super fan of the Kansas City Chiefs community that was robbing banks? And it was never mind. That's all I'm asking about. Name's Chiefsaholic. You guys get bored during this week. Look into it. I think the entire locker room will have quite a chuckle at what's been going on in the Kansas City Chiefs super fan community. You and Kyler, have you guys talked?
No.
Will you?
Yeah. If we ever get on the call, yeah, we can talk. I don't have no beef with Kyler. I would love to talk with Kyler. That's my guy.
Yeah, it is your guy, right? And that's why it was a big deal. And it feels like you're one of the only people that can maybe have you know what I mean? You've had
Man, listen, I would love to talk to Kyler. Like I said in my conference, I don't have no beef with him. I just want to help him understand, the flaws that everyone else is seeing that can help his team become better, because his team is looking at him for that leadership role. And that's all I was saying, to help sharpen up on his leadership skills, on how his teammates are going to perceive him and what they look at him for. That's all.
Yeah, and how they react. You've been around the NFL a long time, as did AJ. I think I had a few years in there of watching things up closely. Not everybody is just like inherited with the perfect leadership qualities. It is something that people have to work through sometimes, especially at the quarterback position. So I don't think you're out of pocket for saying what you're saying. And I think you're one of the only people that could say it, especially now that you're outside the organization, as opposed to him thinking maybe the organization sent you to talk to him. I'm excited to see how that all pans out, because I think the future of the NFL with Kyler balling and everything is great.
Oh, man.
Yes.
No doubt about it.
I concur with that.
Hands down.
Looking at the playoffs, Eagles, Jalen Hurts is hurt. He's going to be out a couple weeks. You guys could potentially make a run at the number 1 seed here. You guys talking about that, or you just got to worry about your own shit?
Man, for the most part, we got to worry about our own shit. We got enough going on right now. We got a high power, pressure defense coming in here. Daniel Jones, the offense fitting themselves. Saquon Barkley running downhill as a heat-seeking missile. So we have to worry about finding ways to go on 1-0 after each and every week. That's our goal, and let the chips lie where they may at the end of the season.
Tone, go ahead.
I don't know if you've seen, but your friend AQ over here, he keeps putting corners on his big bumps, his kill shot segment each week of.
Yeah, hold on. We'll just give one away right now. Here is.
I feel like you shouldn't appreciate.
Who we got?
Here's one from this week. This is what AQ wants to spotlight. Whenever when he has the opportunity to, for the big guys. And there's been a rule change. I think Tone is going to talk about. What are you thinking whenever somebody like this guy, gets out and oh no.
Uh-oh.
Oh no. No.
Don't do it.
What are you
Got that
being
outside
taught?
leg.
And what are you supposed to do with these new rules of not being able to cut somebody there? Patch, honestly, that's a great question, Tone.
Man, honestly, what we're taught to do, because the offensive linemen do not know where the ball carrier is. So we're taught to foot fake them.
Yep.
Call it the AI them or fake them out the best we can, because their whole obligation is to block us. So if we're giving them any quick move, they're going to fall for it.
Shit, what he tried here, right? That's what he tried to do here.
Yeah, but he did a little bit too slow. It got to be quick. It got to be nice and fast.
Oh, man.
You've been through the NFL,
Hey,
though.
but that hurt.
Yeah, I could imagine. Because you were back in the days where they could cut, so now.
Which I like that.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Sorry, AQ.
Hey, I used to like cutting downfield too, because exactly what you said. Once I got that foot fake, I was falling on the fucking ground. So as long as I could just run out there and dive, I'd make you guys make the first move.
AJ, go ahead, pal.
No, I was saying on that one, Pat, it would be nice to go hard outside leg, make a pile, wouldn't it? But now they changed
Right.
all that for you.
Soft.
Right.
You mentioned Kirk Cousins earlier. I guess I don't know if you had a relationship with Kirk before you got there, but what was it like getting there and seeing Kirk operate like in the facility as the quarterback of the Vikings when you're his teammate and not just watching like from afar?
Man, I had the opportunity to spend some time with Kirk, over the years when he was in Washington, played a ton of golf with him whenever he came out to Arizona, or whenever we saw each other throughout states, throughout the U.S. But Kirk's a great guy, man. He's just what you see on TV in his press conference. You see that every day around the building. Just a great sense of humor, a great leader, a man of God. And just a true competitor, just want to pour everything into not only his teammates, but into his game to help us be the best team that we know that we can be.
Connor has a question for you.
Yeah, Pat, when you're looking at Arizona as a whole, what do you think has kind of been that problem? Not just the whole Kyler situation, but also like what has gone wrong for them this season? Why do you think the expectations were so high they've kind of underdelivered?
And don't feel obligated to answer. It's not the team you're with, but you are a person that has seen it from inside and outside. Yeah.
And you know what, Connor? I'm not going to answer that question because I don't want the Arizona Cardinals fans coming at me for telling the truth.
Fair.
And I'm just tired. I'm really just tired of them coming after me right now because I love them. And I don't want to continue if they think I'm digging a hole for myself or anything like that. But it's a lot of things that goes wrong in that organization that I'm not going to hit on. So we'll talk about that another day.
Well, let's talk about the Minnesota Vikings. What have you seen from this new regime that makes you think like, wow, it is great to be a part of this operation right now, as opposed to what you may be seeing in the past in Minnesota and also in Arizona, in Minnesota?
Man, just the opportunity of just letting guys be them, being a man's man, just telling guys the truth, not just telling guys what they want to hear. So that's just I had a coach that told me this a long time ago. Average players don't want to be coached. Good players are coachable, but great players want to be told the truth. Tell me the truth. That's all I want to know.
You can't handle it, though. You can't handle it,
can't
Pat.
handle it?
You
I
can't handle
Hey,
the
listen,
truth.
I'm a man's man. I can handle whatever you want to talk about, we can talk about. That's just how I am.
Yeah.
I respect it.
So, and now coming in with these guys and just being around the coaching staff, being around the teammates, it's just a fresh breath, new fresh breath of air.
You think they'll be able to maintain this feeling, these vibe? Because I feel like what happens is maybe a little success happens, not with everybody, but maybe a little success happens, and then all of a sudden things like change over time. Maybe some people get a little bit more controlling in another area. You think this is something that's sustainable over there with everything that's operating?
And I really do think it is, but time will tell. You never know. What things may get in the way. But I do believe there's a great group of guys around here. KO did a great job of his coaching staff hiring. Kwesi did an awesome job of bringing in some adding on to the scouting department that we already had here. Adding on a great personnel up there as well. But, I really do think that this is a group that can really be together for the long run.
I love that. I love to hear that. Congratulations on an incredible year thus far. Good luck the rest of the way. I would not be dapping up Harrison Phillips for a while.
Be careful.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, Patrick Peterson.
Yeah.